CPGM.com, CPGM Headley, CPGM Drew, CPGM Drew. We are back. You know, we've been on a little break, breaking down prospects, the NFL draft. You know, giving out draft grades, got content coming out on CollegePotatoGM.com.
Breaking out each team.
Each team, man, and we are on the LA Chargers right now.
No, San Diego?
No, I think
LA?
Don't worry about it, man. But yeah, man. CPGM Headley, man. First round pick. DBU. Mr. Derwin James, man. Baller? Yeah?
It's a baller.
Baller?
No, it's a baller.
He ain't no Ed Reed.
Don't get
Sean Taylor?
Is he Sean Taylor? Not even Sean Taylor?
I believe so.
Who is he, man? Who does he compare to you think, man?
From day one.
Ryan Dawkins.
Nah, he's not B-Dog.
I just want to say, I know that's his guy. One of his guys.
Weapon X.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that either.
No, but is your Cowboy friend?
No, I respect.
Oh.
I'm a safety at heart, though.
Oh, okay.
I respect B. Dawkins. He ain't no Darren Woodson, though. You understand what I'm saying? You see how I did that? You see how I did that?
Cleaned it up.
Adrian Wilson. I'm not sure I'm not sure how many of our audience remembers Adrian Wilson. He played most of his career with the Arizona Cardinals, multi-time Pro Bowl, elected Pro Bowl player. I think he ended up with the Bears to end his career. He as you put it, Hadley, he was Cam Chancellor before Cam Chancellor. He was that big, imposing safety, but had all the athleticism to cover sideline to sideline, to turn and run, make plays. I see a lot of Adrian Wilson and Derwin James. The ability to play in the box, that's where he's best, but is very comfortable in space as well. That's the player and that is no slight to Derwin James. Adrian Wilson was a phenomenal safety.
Adrian Wilson had 8 sacks in the season before. He had 4 or 5 interceptions. He could do it all, man. He was versatile.
Listen, you want to comp for him, man. He was the first mutant on the planet.
Yeah, he was the first created player.
I mean, at the end of the day,
test tube, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, man. You
Yeah.
go to Madden, you look at his numbers, his bio, you're like, somebody made this guy up, bro. What is that, bro? You know, you can mess with the build and make him bigger, make him smaller, bro, make him taller. Like, who made this guy, man? That's what he was. That's who he was, man.
And Derwin James, man, like you said, it's no slight on Derwin James. If he has an Adrian Wilson career, I think the Chargers would be ecstatic. They'd be thrilled.
They should be.
That's a baller right there, man. So let's talk about the fall. He fell to number 17, man. The Chargers might have had other plans in mind, and it was like, no, we can't pass on this guy.
We can't stop.
Why do you think Derwin James fell in the draft?
Because he's playing the position of a safety. And, you know, just like his counterpart in Minka Fitzpatrick, you know, what do you do with them? Where do you use them?
That question, I think, has been much more pervasive when it came to the Minka Fitzpatrick discussion. What do you do with them? But I think there's some of that with Derwin.
Yeah.
I think there's some of that with Derwin too. What do you? Not because he can't do certain things, but you're trying to figure out what does he do best.
Coming downhill.
And he does. That's what as clear as day. Coming off the edge, playing near the line of scrimmage. Even if he's dropping into coverage, lining up near the line of scrimmage, I think that's where you want Derwin James. So I know a lot of people, there was never I shouldn't say never, there was far less discussion about Derwin James playing corner or playing on the boundary. That's where the Minka conversation was going.
Yeah.
But just in terms of how you're going to deploy the individual player, I think there was a certain level of that with James as well as Fitzpatrick.
Let's talk about it, man, because the Chargers, they have a richest of corners.
Yeah.
They have corners.
Embarrassment of riches. Yeah.
Embarrassment of riches. That's what I was looking for. And then you draft Derwin James. You had a guy there that played pretty well as the strong safety role. You have Gus Bradley over here. You know Gus Bradley's a cover 3. Came from Seattle, what Atlanta runs right now. So when you think about safeties, it's Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas. Adai was the Cam Chancellor last year. Now you draft Derwin James. That's Cam Chancellor. So how do you think they work out this Lego piece in LA? What you guys think, man? Derwin at free, playing Earl Thomas?
That's the biggest question. And if you're using Derwin at the free, man, you're not using him in the way that he should be used best. You're not maximizing his potential. And at the end of the day, you're trying to put the players in the best position to succeed. At the same time, you're trying to maximize their potential. And that's not it. Can he do it? Probably. But is that his best? Are you using him at his best ability? And I don't think so if you put him at the free.
I don't want Derwin James 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage unless the game is a Hail Mary. You understand what I'm saying? Unless we're at that point in the game. it's a good problem to have because, like you said, Adai is a quality player, quality starter. Obviously, Derwin James has a lot more potential, a lot more upside. James is your strong safety. Now, depending on whether they're in nickel, this, that, and the other, you talk about Desmond King playing in the slot. I think Derwin can play the slot. I think King could play at the top at free safety, center field. I think you have some interchangeable parts here. So you can do some different things. You can disguise blitzes. You can do things differently. I think Adai probably slides up to the nickel linebacker, or James could play nickel linebacker for that matter. So it's a good problem to have. You can never have enough defensive backs. We've talked about the issues with the Chargers defense in terms of them not being able to stop the run. Big part of that is Denzel Perriman, right?
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. You might just take him off the field on third down altogether. You know what I'm saying? Obvious passing downs to try to keep him healthy. Mind you, most of the time, the physicality of the running game is ultimately what harms him. But if he can play fewer snaps, that may be beneficial to your running game as well as adding James to support the run. So, to your point, closest in line of scrimmage is better. You have a lot of guys that can do multiple things. So figure it out, but find a way to make sure that James is in the box.
Is in the building.